Yeah, okay. I just turned on my recording. Holy it's been a while.
I'm recording too, Misha.
God damn, son.
F1
Now
time.
audio recording. We're back.
Are we all good?
I'm
I mean,
amazing. Like, look at
personally,
my face.
insane. I'm personally not doing good. But for the podcast, we will move.
I'm excited for this, and Misha, I feel you, but in a different way. Like, life's a little weird.
Yes, but we're
A
not
lot
gonna. This
weird.
is not what this podcast is about. If you want
No
to
need
know
to
about
bring
our
it.
personal lives and our life lessons and how struggling we are, I'm struggling as
How
you can tell.
struggling we are.
Comment below
God.
if you want that.
Okay, we'll do 3, 2, 1, clap, and then
Oh,
yeah.
wait, sorry.
Not okay. Okay, that was the warning one. That was the warning. We're about
No
to
one
go.
told me.
Okay, I'll say clap and clap at the same time so that you know. Okay,
Yeah.
ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Saberbs podcast. This is the first video we are recording for 2022. I'm Marcus. I'm here with Mischa and Kush,
Hi.
and today's topic is going to be the 2022 Formula One season. All three of us are very into Formula One right now, and I don't know where we go from here, like how we're gonna transition into the next topic, but
Wow.
like it's safe to
Marcus is
What a
not good with
segue.
transitions. He's
What
not.
a segue.
We are rusty, if you can tell. Things have changed.
yeah,
We've lost the groove,
we have not
apparently.
we've lost our mojo. We're very sorry, but yeah, I think well, all three of us have a very strong interest in F1 right now. We talk about it every single time after a race, and we thought that it would be really nice for us to record an episode about it since we're so interested in it. So I think the first thing that we should get into is like how you guys got into F1. So if any of you guys just want to start, honestly.
I'll start because mine is so. I have to thank or blame Marcus for this because he was the one who properly got me into F1. I, as a kid, was never really into it. There's only one race that I remember as a kid that I watched, and that was probably one of the first ever Singaporean Grand Prix. And I clearly remember Fernando Alonso and his Ferrari. But that is all I remember. I was never a Formula One fan. I think my parents and I, because we used to live in Singapore and my parents liked cars, so the Singaporean Grand Prix was the only Grand Prix that was ever in my mind, because also there were people would fly out to Singapore to watch it. But I personally, that never really crossed my mind, and Formula One has never crossed my mind. I see it trending on Twitter sometimes, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care. And then I think it was last year, Monaco Grand Prix 2021, Marcus was like, right, Mischa, I know you may not really care, but like I need to tell you because you like sports. So, and then like told me the whole thing what happened with Charles Leclerc in Monaco, and I was like, okay, that's sad. Maybe. Okay. But then that sort of brought me back into the okay, because also again my whole timeline started talking about what happened in Monaco. And then so that brought me up to speed in terms of who the Charles Leclerc is and was. And I'll say this. I was like, right, to catch me up to speed, I will watch Drive to Survive. So I did. I binge watched the first 3 seasons, or most of the 3 seasons in one go. And we're here about a year later. And I have regrets.
Yeah, and No,
Why
you
do
have thankfulness and regrets. This is actually the very first time I realized that I am the reason you got into F1. I thought DTS was the reason you got into F1, honestly.
Well, I would not have gotten into DTS if you didn't mention to me the Monaco Grand Prix and Charles Leclerc.
Monaco Grand Prix and
Okay.
Charles Leclerc is such a good way.
Yeah.
Kush, you want to go
Such a
next?
story. For
Kush, you
me,
should go.
Yeah.
I'm the a new person to F1. Like, first of all, I did see both of you talking about F1 in chat a lot, but I mostly got into F1 because of, first of all, my sister told me to watch GTS. I had a lot of friends. Oh, I remember in those 2021 final Abu Dhabi race, and I was in my room in dorms, which is what I think it was like 6 floors up, and I could hear my friends watching it downstairs, and I could hear them scream when the final thing ended, and then all their messages and everything. It's like, what the hell is happening? And I just heard like, oh, it's the final F1 race, and yeah, that I'm not gonna get into what happened. That race is another story by itself. But yeah, all of it together, and I got super bored. Got super bored this year. A lot of my friends were talking about F1. It's like, might as well give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? I had those in India. You watch on Hotstar, so I had that open and I saw it. And DTS was so fun. It's such an over dramatized show, but it's a good way to get everyone into it. So that's where my interest started. And I've been watching every race this year pretty much since I started watching DTS, and yeah, so fun.
Yeah. I think so I guess we're going to me now. I think out of the three of us, I'm the only one that actually didn't get into F1 through DTS because I've been watching F1 since I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old. And when you're watching F1 when you're 4 years old, keep in mind this is 2004.
But Fernando,
A certain 2004 Ferrari driven by a certain Michael Schumacher driving along every track is gonna captivate you. I'd be watching like the glory days of Ferrari. Good God, man, those were the days. And then when I was in 2011, I was going on a trip to Italy, and my dad brought me to watch the Monza Grand Prix. This was during the time that I absolutely hated Red Bull because Vettel was winning everything in sight.
Ah.
the Vettel years.
And
Oh.
I remember it clearly. Every time the Red Bull passed by to like complete a lap or go into the pits, I would like put my fist up. I remember I'd put my fist up. I wouldn't put the middle finger up. I wanted to flip off every single Red Bull that I saw. I didn't. I composed myself.
Oh, little Marcus and Monza. I'm trying to just. I
Yeah.
say little Marcus, you were 11. You weren't that tiny.
11 is-
but
Yeah.
just
11 is the
imagining
key,
that is
baby.
hilarious.
And so yeah, so what ended up happening was I think after that race, I watched it for a few more times after, and then 2012 season, I kind of stopped watching it, and then I think it was the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I remember it clearly. I managed to get a live screening of it because I watched a part of it live. And this was just a bit after Vettel hit Hamilton during the safety car, and then everything, all hell broke loose. Like, this guy named Daniel Ricciardo won, and I was like, who's this guy in the Red Bull? Why is Vettel in a Ferrari? What happened to Rosberg? Didn't he win? Who's
Oh my-
Valtteri Bottas?
Oh my
Like, a
God.
bunch of things. Like, why is Fernando in a McLaren, and why does the McLaren suck? I was like,
Oh.
and so I was like, okay, I'm out of the loop, and I kept up from then on. Yeah, and then 2018 season onward was when I started truly like keeping up with everything, and here we are today. So yeah, it's been quite a journey for me, and it's also been quite a journey for these two, and their journeys honestly have just begun. They're about to go into a huge spiral with F1. Take it from me.
Yeah,
After season,
it's already been
begun.
dangerous. It's already been dangerous this past year. It's been dangerous. You guys don't want to know.
I
Don't
think
want
the
to
only
know.
Yeah.
ones who are happy right now are probably like, I don't even know if Max fans are happy. I hope
Yeah,
they
because
are.
Austria was a bit
Are
bad.
are any fans happy right
Yeah,
now?
to be fair, no, there's a lot to be
God.
mad about this F1 season. I thought I was frustrated
Yeah.
last season. This season's even worse. So, I have my top two. You guys actually you can't see my layout, but you'll see my layout in here. I have two things in here. One of them is my favorite driver. The other one is I got lucky. So, for my birthday, Marcus very kindly gave me a mini helmet of George Russell's 2022 helmet because I love the man. So George is one of them, and Charles Leclerc is my other favorite driver. Those are my two favorite drivers. Everybody else on the grid, I'm pretty like okay with. Last season I did want Max to win, and now Max is pissing me off. So this is what this is. So like, if you guys like apply for Red Bull Racing's The Paddock, or when you did, so I have a replica piece of his race winning suit. Cause I mean it's f***ing cool.
Oh right.
I mean it's
Yeah,
like
I
a
saw
piece
that
of
one.
history. Like, I mean the guy's pissing me off right now, but like it's also just cool to have. And team wise, I'm a Ferrari fan. I think last season I was a bit wishy-washy. I think I was finding my ground in terms of like who I will support, but now I'm very much certain. But then I have like a soft spot for drivers in terms of like I have a soft spot for all the Asian drivers because of solidarity. So like Alex, Yuki, Zhou Guanyu, mga ganon. Whoa, I'm sorry, I went Filipino. But that's my
God dang.
That's my circuit of current F1 drivers who are on the grid that are my favorite.
Kush, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I started this year, so like a lot of it came from everyone talking about it, and everyone for the past like 6, 7 years has just been talking about Hamilton. So Hamilton was one of my I think for drivers wise, he's my favorite. And then after that, I want Daniel Ricciardo to do well because I feel sad for him. I want Vettel to do well because I feel sad for him also. Alonso just because he's the grandpa of the entire F1 grid at this point.
I have words about Alonso. I will get into that later.
Alonso just because like I don't know, I just find he is refreshing. He's old, he still got it, and he's keeping up with everyone. I think honestly, like if he was in one of the top 3 teams, it would be something else to see. I think that would break everyone's predictions. So those
Oh,
are
yeah, for sure.
like my favorite drivers. I like Perez also. I like more of the underdogs, and Lewis is obviously excluded from that, 'cause being the 7-time champion winner. But this year he's a little bit of an underdog, and he's still coming in strong. I mean, third best car is
Yeah.
not exactly. My favorite team is, well, I'm pretty sure you can guess, Mercedes. And I don't know if I'm a bandwagon fan or not. It's too early to tell.
Yeah, I wouldn't qualify as a bandwagon fan. You're just getting into the sport, so
Yeah.
you'll find the team that you support.
After that, I have a sweet spot for Williams and sweet spot for her Aston Martin just because of Vettel. I think I think Vettel's
Yeah.
just a great guy, and I want him to not have an Aston Martin forever, or at least a good car. So yeah, those are the teams really like. What about you, Marcus?
Okay, so
Hmm.
my favorite team, and this has been my favorite team since I was 4, is Ferrari. Now, I know I have a Red Bull jacket on. I will explain. My favorite driver is Alex Albon. I am a
Okay.
huge Alex Albon fan.
Yeah.
I will support that guy till the day he retires, and even after that. The guy deserved better at Red Bull. I got
agree.
this Red Bull jacket because of Alex Albon.
Oh,
Okay,
the story of this
I-
is also very sad. Marcus, explain
Yeah.
when you got the jacket and what happened around it.
So okay, so this is not the jacket I got because of Alex Albon. That's in the wash right now, and I wanted to wear that one because it's quite frankly more comfortable. The day my Alex Albon shirt, like my Red Bull shirt and jacket arrived, was the day that they announced that Perez was gonna replace Albon
God.
in Red Bull for next season. And so I got that for Christmas. I looked at it and I had to like kind of be happy because like yes, it's like F1 merch. It's the first F1 merch I had in a while. But oh god. Anyway, I'm digressing. My favorite team is Ferrari. I have a Ferrari shirt. But my dad uses it, and I was supposed to wear it, but it's in the laundry, so bummer. So yeah, my favorite driver is Albon. My second favorite driver is Leclerc. My third favorite driver is Zhou Guanyu. We'll get to him later, because we're gonna talk about driver performances and team performances. George Russell's like up there in my top 5, and then rounding out the top 5 is Mick, just because you know,
Schumacher.
yeah,
Makes two.
our Mick.
Our way.
Yeah, and then like my top 3 teams: Ferrari, McLaren, and Williams. It's historical. when
Historical,
you get into
yeah.
F1 during the when you get into F1 during the time that all those three teams were actually competing, it kind of makes sense.
For
Yeah,
people who
no.
don't know, Williams
Yeah.
was one
Oh,
of the
Williams
most winning
was
teams of its time
insane.
another age.
Back in
The
the
w-
day.
that was when Juan Pablo Montoya was just going batch
Mhm.
with the Williams, bro. He was putting that thing in like positions where it should not be.
Yeah,
And then you had Kimi in the 2004 McLaren going crazy, and then you had Michael in the 2004 Ferrari like
Mhm.
dominating. That was a season that was what 12 years ago. Let's talk about the current season.
2004?
Okay.
That was a longer time than that, Marcus.
2004 was 12 years ago?
No!
2004?
No, my math is
What?
No, my math is wrong. It was 18 years ago. Wait.
Bro, you're so off!
You're off by 6 years.
So off!
Time flies
I'm
by
sorry.
fast.
We're that old now.
hang on,
guys.
hang
That's
on, hang
really-
on, hang on.
Anyways, we
no, 3
digress about
days.
how old we
Yeah.
are.
Sorry.
Because this
Back in
season
my
has
day.
aged
Now we're
us.
gonna-
This season has aged us. I will like point blank say it. I have aged watching this season, and we will go into why.
I've actually had a
Here.
pretty
Exactly.
okay season, to be honest.
I-
Unlike both of you.
Yeah, but that's because you're able to appreciate F1 just for what it is as a whole.
Yeah, because
No,
you're
I
still
can-
early
I can
days.
appreciate-
Me and Misha are dissecting every single turn by every single team,
Yeah.
every single engine blow up.
No,
We're
no.
dissecting
Bro,
everything.
trust me,
No,
it
no.
hurts for us.
I've been okay because I've been supporting Mercedes, and I started this year, so I didn't expect WDC
Dude, if you
from
put-
them. They
excuse
started
me.
bottom and went up.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Baby, bottom. Hamilton
No, I
was
mean,
on the
like,
podium
okay.
for the first
Hey, hey,
race.
hey.
Bottom.
Okay. Someone who should come.
okay, well,
someone used to come
Mish, to be-
P1. Come on, P1
Okay,
to
yes,
P3
I
is
get
bottom.
that. Yes.
In that
Okay, well,
sense.
Mish, to be fair, Hamilton got podium in the first race because both Red Bulls conked out.
Okay.
Oh wait,
yeah,
that's also
mm.
true. Oh, let's
Okay,
start there. Let's
yes.
start with the reliability. Red Bull, Ferrari, and
reliability.
DNF.
Oh my God,
Nah,
Jesus Christ!
Their
That's
DNF
a nice-
scale is
Wait,
just
wait.
insane.
Let's start with the Red Bull. I think Red Bull DNFs have mostly been fixed. Like they're not having mechanical issues anymore. Like Perez's issue was because he hit Russell, or Russell hit him, however you want to take it.
No, but then
They've
didn't
been-
he
No,
DNF
but like,
in
we're-
Canada?
like, we're
wait,
t-
wait, hold on. Can someone explain to me why he DNF'd in Canada? Just to context, I've watched every race weekend this year except the Canadian Grand Prix. I watched nothing of that because I was insanely busy doing a show and seeing Harry Styles in the same weekend. So I did not. Why did Perez DNF in Canada?
I'm gonna look at the qualifying results honestly, just to that might be.
somebody
Canada was the vet
answer
quality.
me.
Alonso qualified P2 in
Someone
Canada.
explain to me why Checo DNF'd. I don't
I think
know
Canada was the
why.
last mechanical failure they had, and Checo DNF. I think that was the second. Was it second DNF for him, or in Canada or not?
No, no, no. I
second.
don't think that was the second DNF.
No, it was because he DNF'd in the first race and he was fine for the rest of it.
Yeah, and then he
Oh,
DNF'd
okay.
again in Austria. Max Verstappen had 2 early DNFs.
Yeah,
Red
yeah,
Bull.
that
Yeah.
was Bahrain and Australia.
Yeah, I wanna talk about the reliability at the start of the season.
Okay,
for Red
but
Bull
then can
because
someone answer my question? Why did Checo DNF
Okay,
in
okay,
Canada?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I'm forgetting because you put me on the spot. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, no, it was a reliability issue. It was a mechanical
Okay.
failure.
Okay. Good
Okay,
to know.
Wait,
okay.
so
Thank
he
you.
crashed into the barriers and he crashed during quali in Montreal.
Oh yeah,
And
he crashed in quali.
After that,
which
he
which
retired in the
makes-
race.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
Makes sense.
Could be because of the
Thank
crash,
you.
like affecting it.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know, guys. All
So
I
Checo
wanted
has
to
3
know.
DNFs. Verstappen has had 2,
Yes.
and he had the crash in Silverstone that wasn't a DNF, but it put him away from the race-winning place.
His car went over some AlphaTauri.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like,
the
There's that
like
picture
the
of him
front,
laughing
part
and
of a
holding
front
it.
wing or something of
Yeah.
like Yuki's car. I
Like,
remember
there's-
that.
Yeah.
There's like a huge. It was like a huge ass chunk. We'll put a photo of it like right here.
And
It's
then
just like
he ended up P6 or something really low because of that.
P7, P7.
P7.
Okay, I was off by 1.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, cause like this season, obviously it's more of. I mean, at the start of the season, we thought we were gonna get a Leclerc Verstappen battle because that's how like Ferrari looked really like strong
Mm-hmm.
at the start of the
Bahrain.
season, and Red Bull looked like they were the faster car, but reliability was gonna bite them in the ass.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, because like in the first season, both Red Bulls conked out towards the end, and we all lost our shit. It was a Ferrari 1-2, and then obviously Lewis got the third
Oh,
place.
yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to find a way to like compartmentalize like total performances as a whole because it's so many moving parts in a season,
Mhm.
so many different results, so many
Yeah.
different conditions of racing that affect like how how the race weekend would go, right? Because like we can talk about like Leclerc is dragging that car along. Leclerc is having his should be having his best season, but that Ferrari has been unreliable circa like Spain and I can't remember what other races.
Spain,
Um
Monaco is a strategy issue.
Baku was another technical
was the
failure.
big one.
Baku. Yeah, Baku was a DNF.
Double
DNF for him.
DNF, double DNF.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you got I don't know what these strategists are smoking in the paddock,
is
bro.
not doing. I don't know. This is why been having struggles with Ferrari as a team.
Let's do it one at a time. Mechanical DNS for Ferrari. They had a couple of engine failures, Sainz and Leclerc. And then they had the strategy mess ups, which is mostly Monaco. Monaco and Silverstone. Those were the big Ferrari messes up, I think.
Imola.
Bro, you're missing.
Imola.
Oh,
Yeah, Imola, bro.
Imola. Because
I don't remember
Carlos
what happened in that
DNF
race
again.
too much.
Because Carlos has DNF 4 times this season.
The
Australia,
start of the season was
Imola,
rough for him.
Baku, and then Austria. But no, Imola was the start of the bad luck personally for me for Ferrari. It's been difficult. It's been difficult to watch. I will not lie.
It's just like I don't know like Ferrari had it in them at the start of the season to like make a push for a genuine championship. Now obviously like powertrain reliability is something that, you can only do so much, but it's just like it at some point the thing has a mind of its own in a sense,
Mhm.
right?
Part of it.
But with strategy, that's all on you.
Nah,
You
a
can't
lot of
blame
it has
you can't
is
blame
other
anyone.
than yourself, other than the strategy team.
there's-
Strategy team. Sorry, I can't pronounce words.
Yeah, I mean, like, cause like even Carlos Sainz had to be like, "Yo, this strategy is stupid, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going for it,"
So for
and that led
context-
to his win in Silverstone.
Yeah, for Silverstone, basically what happened was Charles had a broken car. He was losing, I think, 2 to 3 tenths to the Mercedes, and Sainz was ahead, fresh tires. It was a safety car, and the Ferrari told him to. Oh, sorry, Charles was P1, Sainz was in P2, and he was holding back. Who was it? Hamilton. Hamilton.
Yeah.
Was
So
gonna,
strategy. Yeah. So strategist called for Carlos on fresh tires to give 10 car lengths, between him and Leclerc, so that Leclerc has like clear air, which is the dumbest thing in the world because Ferrari did not pit Leclerc for softs when they absolutely could have. Then you would have a battle where Leclerc and Sainz genuinely had a chance because even if Leclerc had damage, like, oh my god, dude.
So
We
basically,
could have had a one.
to-
There's many points this season we could have had a Ferrari 1-2, either driver, but no.
Sainz did the right thing by pushing for the lead because I'm sorry to Leclerc, but Leclerc was gonna be the guy who was supposed to put 10 car lengths between him and Sainz.
Leclerc had damage. For everyone. He
It's not
had
even
a
that
early
Leclerc-
lap 1 crash, not crash.
It's not
incident.
even it's
Sorry.
not even that Leclerc had damage.
Yeah,
like
no,
Leclerc
it's-
was fine. Leclerc was fine for most of the race with the front wing damage.
Yeah.
In fact, he didn't overtake Carlos on merit, but he was faster than Carlos
At one
in like
point,
lap
yeah,
times.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
So, but yeah, the only reason he became slower was because everyone was on softs while
Softs.
he was on hards.
Yeah, and they were
Unlike-
old hards.
Unlike old ass hards.
So Sainz had to tell his pit wall to screw off. Monaco.
yeah.
There were many times. Monaco.
Monaco is just another thing.
Monaco was another thing.
Started season looked so good. Like Ferrari win one, Verstappen win one, Ferrari win another, and then everything just Red Bull win the next one. Then since then nothing.
Yeah,
It would also be very frustrating for Leclerc since I think he has more poles than Verstappen, but he's
Yeah.
not able to convert those poles.
I think
Yeah.
there's a stat. So Verstappen has won more from Leclerc poles than Leclerc ever has.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the great thing about Austria was Charles broke the he can only win from pole merchant because he obviously didn't get pole in Austria. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Like-
it's
Like bummer for Carlos because his car just blew up again.
yeah, no, that could
Ferrari
reliability.
been a Ferrari 1-2 easily.
Easily.
Because he was
Yeah, it
on
was
this
totally
way
on
to
the way.
easily overtaking Max because for some reason the Red Bull just wasn't it at Austria. Like it.
Yeah, no, like
It
literally,
wasn't
he
it.
was literally on Max's tail when his engine decided to go boom.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah,
was scary to
literally on
watch.
It's
That was so scary
so
to watch.
depressing.
Red Bull deserves some credit for how good this strategy's been. Like for so many years, they've never really
No,
been
no,
one
they
to
have good
consistently bad
strategies.
strategy.
Red Bull they have good strategists.
Like,
Shout out to
outside of-
Hannah.
so-
Hannah, you're a G.
Yeah,
One of
and,
the
like,
strategists. Sorry.
The car this year and the strategy and the drivers, all three are like this is the
Yeah, no,
the
I
Red
feel
Bull
like
season.
this season, Checo and Max are really like blending together. Like genuinely, they are
It's like-
blending together very well.
with Red Bull, it's very obvious like who the number one driver is.
Oh, that's still. A
But
thing.
the fact that Checo is like keeping up is something that we're all genuinely
Mhm.
surprised about.
Yeah,
It's something I'm genuinely surprised
I
about.
Checo's
know,
races
I'm
have
s-
been amazing.
yeah, no,
the way
Checo's
he
been
just,
good
like,
this season.
In Silverstone,
Yeah.
when he caught up to Hamilton, Leclerc, and Sainz, that's when I lost hope. I was so scared. I knew that when Perez closes up and that's it, he crossed the entire field from I think like what 18 or 19 all
Yeah.
the way up
from
to
the
the
back.
second.
Yeah, Perez got damaged, pitted, and was like running in the back for a certain part of the race, and then just like climbed
He
his
ate
way
up.
back
He
up.
ate up. No,
Come
that's the
safe-
thing. He is very good at overtaking. He's done it before. That's how he won his first race back in Sakir. That's what he did.
I'll
I
start
do
from the
not want
back.
to ever remember that race.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
we're not remembering that race. No.
We should at least mention like Max in Canada had signs on his tail for what 20 something laps, and he just never let up. He never gave signs a chance to overtake. No mistakes.
Well,
nothing.
that's because at that point that becomes driver performance.
Yeah.
And
I
as much as I hate to admit it, Verstappen is the better driver
think
compared to him in science.
Verstappen
Oh,
might just
I
be the
agree.
best driver on the grid right now.
Yeah, Verstappen knows where to push and where to preserve his tires. He also knows when to do it. But like with Sainz, I think he knows as well, but I feel like strategy is telling him like, oh, push here, and it's like it's detrimental to the car,
Mm.
right? And like I don't know.
This is
Ferrari have been a mess. Even
Yeah.
if they have been winning races, they have been a mess.
honestly, you can't even tell if Verstappen is miles better than Charles or was a little bit better or if he's worse because the Ferrari cars. Because you can't get a proper battle. Only few. We had a proper battle in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and I don't know if we've had a proper battle since then. Australia wasn't really a battle between Charles and Max. That was just Ferrari.
Yeah, no,
the
Charles.
rocket ship.
That was where Charles just
Charles was
dominated.
cruising.
Yeah.
Charles was just
Yeah.
cruising in Australia.
Baku was gonna
Charles
have a
was
good
also
battle.
Charles was also cruising in Spain, and then his engine.
Yeah, no, that was very much an
Spain
easy
was
win
harsh.
for Charles. That could have been the easiest win
That
compared
was
to
gonna be
Australia.
another Australia.
Yeah, it was gonna be another Australia.
Yeah, and
that,
then-
that one hurt.
And then Baku was just a double DNF nightmare
Yeah.
for Ferrari. Jesus Christ.
Outside of these two,
Yeah.
Mercedes is basically picking up podiums the moment Red Bull and Ferrari mess up. Like, the
I
moment
mean,
they mess
hey,
up, they're just there.
you gotta take the opportunity, Like I
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
blame
this-
them
Yeah.
for it. They know
Yeah.
they don't have the same car as the Red Bull. They say that they're getting to almost the same level as the Ferrari, so they'll pick up the
Yeah.
pieces and get as much points and continue to improve, and that's what they're doing. I
It's really
mean, like,
impressive.
it is impressive. I mean, it was the incredible shock that when everyone realized that they weren't sandbagging this season during Bahrain testing of like Wait, the car is actually not on top? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I cannot give you an explanation as in terms of like the mechanics and like the actual technical aspect as to why Merc just didn't make the best car that I like. It surprised me too in terms of like how could they have fallen quite a bit.
Well, because to be fair, every time there's a huge change in regulations, we saw this with Ferrari when everyone moved from V10s to V8s,
Mm-hmm.
and then we saw it with like Red Bull like so like Ferrari were like the top dogs of the V10 eras, obviously. Then when they moved to the V8s, it was whoever could capture it, and then eventually it was Red Bull that captured it, right?
Yeah.
And then when we moved to the V6, it became Mercedes, and it was Mercedes for like majority of that decade, right?
Yeah.
Now we're moving to a new V6 era. It's who has the better philosophy on like matching the
Aerodynamics.
powertrain with the
Aero's
aerodynamics.
and
just-
aero. No,
And-
it's a lot on aero this time.
yeah, and so Mercedes obviously didn't get it right this time. Like they're never. It's always a gamble when the regulations change, right?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is one
Like-
of the biggest regulation changes in decades.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so it's like, Ferrari found something, even though they're fucking up. Red Bull found their mojo again and like making a car that can stay up there.
This is my thing on this is we've seen all these cars from the first race in Bahrain to the last one in Austria. These cars have developed so much in the last like 4 months.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah,
Like,
when
if you put
regulation,
everyone's
sorry.
if you put everyone's Bahrain car right now and like tested it in the next and like ran it in France, it'd be a completely different story. A completely different story because that's how
Oh, yeah,
fast these
yeah.
cars. It's insane.
I call it the regulation year, where everyone is like figuring out new stuff with the car and new stuff with the regulations that they can like take advantage of and like put to their car. So it's like one day Red Bull can be the best team on the grid, and then next thing you know, Haas is like getting a podium or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about Russell and Hamilton. Like Hamilton is finding his groove with the car again.
Yeah, no,
Which is-
it's nice to
which-
see because the
Yeah.
couple races where he struggled, it is difficult to see like him struggle. Like it's in like obviously we've seen him at the top for so many years, but like
Yeah.
to genuinely see because he works his ass off. It's not like he's slacking, but the fact that the car just like didn't perform for him, and like they
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
on
I know
tweaking.
what
I
you
remember
mean.
like every single weekend.
It
I
was
remember
like something different.
Yeah,
Maybe
was it-
running experimental setups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They would
yeah.
run the experimental ones on his because they were just like, oh, what the heck's going
Exactly.
on? Mercedes have seemed to get the brunt of all the problems in terms of like the porpoising was like insane on their car.
Yeah, it was
for the first
it was unreal,
races.
bro.
So
like
Yeah.
I would get a headache watching the onboards just because of how much they
Basic-
were bouncing.
For those that don't know, porpoising. Imagine this. You know those bouncy balls when you were in kindergarten that you would sit on and bounce around
The
on?
space hoppers.
Imagine that, but you're strapped into a car going 300 kilometers an hour, and you're bouncing like that, going 300 miles an hour, and you're gonna have to brake with like how many G forces? Yeah, that does a deal to your body, my friends.
So
Yeah,
this has been happening to a lot of the teams, and Mercedes, this is one of their major issues that they've seemed to figure it out now. Baku, if you want to see that race, at the end of that race, you can see how Hamilton is
Hamilton,
struggling
yeah,
to
he's
get out
back.
the car.
yeah,
He's
This old
back.
man.
bro, it was crazy.
It was insane.
But like I will admit, it was refreshing for me to see that Hamilton was like not like just winning every single race at the start, but I was concerned that the car with the car. I thought the car was a little too slow. I was like, I know I don't want Hamilton to win every single race, just like I don't want Verstappen to win every single race. But it's like I want to see like healthy competition. where
Yeah,
it's like,
where
we don't know-
was my three-way
we-
battle? I want
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
for
and
the
like
championship.
I actually honestly think if his luck doesn't go to every single race, I think George is gonna be the guy that's gonna pull a win for Mercedes this season.
Oh, really? Do you think George will win before
Mm,
Lewis this season?
I don't
I
think.
think George has more to prove than Lewis in that car, and George has been proving himself. He's fifth in the constructors in the driver standings, and he's on top of his teammate, right?
Yeah,
But
no,
not
I
And
by
feel like
he's
that's
much.
he's like he's in a battle we can argue with like Hamilton and Sainz and maybe even Perez if you think about it.
yeah.
He's super consistent in the races. He's getting good results, so honestly good on him. I think he just needs a little bit of luck and a little bit more push, and he's gonna be the guy that wins a race. And when he wins that race, it's gonna be like Mick getting points,
I'm gonna cry.
where it's just like
I'm gonna
where it's just like that's
cry
it.
when
That's
that
gonna be
happens.
yeah. That's just gonna be George unleashed. Like we're gonna see
Yeah.
like the best of George after
No,
that.
like he
Um,
has out of everyone on the grid, in terms of like quali, Merc have been the most even. George is just up by one. They're 6-5. But George has consistently proved himself in that car, and it's amazing to see. I personally think though, I feel like Hamilton will win before George does, just because he'll put his experience to it. Also, just because like Lewis has had 3 consecutive podiums, so like we are literally
Right.
on the brink. To be fair, I mean George has been in the top 4 as well during
George
those.
has been
like-
top 5 every race he's finished, other than
yeah,
every race he's
other
finished,
than-
so not
other than-
Silverstone.
yeah. Ugh, that was
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
We'll talk about Silverstone in a bit.
We've
I
talked
think
about
George
Silverstone
will
will definitely
but
win
we
a
will
race
talk
this year,
about-
but
I hope
Lewis
he
is
does.
definitely gonna win this year. I hope.
No,
so.
I think there needs to be at least one each. Hopefully a bit more, but at least one each, I suppose. I think from Merc.
Yeah.
I think
That's
Lewis
my
is
thing
the
with Merc.
Lewis is the only driver on the grid who's won a race and a pole every season he's been in F1, and it'd be very sad to see that streak end. But the way Merc
I
is going right
know.
now with upgrades and how close they look every single time since like what Spain has been started their uptick, and slowly, I think they're definitely gonna get a win. I hope Russell wins. He's got a lot of proof. That's why he's always been consistently high, while Hamilton takes the hit with the experimental sensors and setup. Hamilton doesn't
Yeah.
care about P5 or P6 or P4. He wants P1, or it doesn't really matter much.
Yeah.
I mean George also want. I think
George has
also
that.
wants.
No,
Yeah,
George
George
always
needs to
goes
prove
into.
himself more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sim.
George always
Like,
has the mindset
you can
to win.
see
I know
when
that, man.
like you can see whenever he has like a not so good result in like qualifying. It's like you can see in the race like he pushes even harder and he gets back into the top 5 at least, right?
George,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
His top 5
Austria
streak
was
is
insane.
something else.
Austria was an
Yeah.
insane performance from that man, going from the back of the grid to P4.
So I
Yeah.
didn't see too much of Austria. I was at the airport. So what happened exactly with Austria and Russell? I didn't really catch much of that. I just saw the top 3 at the end.
So obviously there was a bit of an incident with Mr. Checo.
Oh right,
from the
yeah,
first
Paris
lap.
DNF.
Which led to both. Well, George got a 5-second time penalty for it. To be fair though, I was looking at it. Obviously, there was more on sort of like George was the one who pushed, but the thing is, there was space for Checo.
I will put it like this. It was a first lap incident, and I understand that it's a heat of the moment. The 5 seconds, I think, yes, should apply to George. But at the same time, it's at that like that gray area where it's a racing incident and it's a 5-second penalty, right?
Mm.
Because then again, like the last time an incident like that happened between a Mercedes and a Red Bull, and this is painful for me,
Oh, that's
was
last
Hamilton and
season.
Albon, and Hamilton got a 5-second penalty for it. So it's, I guess, yes, it is frustrating for Russell to get that penalty, but at the same time, it is a very, very similar incident to what happened between Albon and Hamilton.
This is my thing though, because a move like that has happened a couple of times this season, but not every time has it been penalized. But because the FIA
Yeah,
is a piece of shit. And
We'll get to that.
that's a whole can of worms we can open as well. But like, yeah. So no, that's what basically happened in Austria. Checo obviously had to pit.
DNF.
Well, he
Yeah.
pitted first to
And got
change
Yeah,
tires and to change, to repair. And then they were just like, well, he did a couple more laps and he was like, no, it's not freaking worth it. Like, there's no point for you to continue racing. We'll DNF you. Then George also had to pit, change tires, fix the car, and was back in 19th. And it ate his way up through the grid. Because
Yeah, he did.
he
Yeah.
could.
After shunting that car in qualifying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, the double shot from the Mercs. Oh.
Yeah, it's rare to see Hamilton like just lose the car like that.
Last
You know.
time that happened was 2017 Brazil. Was when Hamilton
No.
crashed in qualifying.
Oh, crashed in qualifying.
Oh, yeah, I thought he meant
I
race.
think
No.
so.
I did check it.
I thought it was 2018 Brazil.
No, it was 2017.
I swear it was.
It was 5 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway.
Hamilton doesn't make mistakes
Yeah.
like that, and see both Mercedes out in qualifying
Mhm.
was. It's not.
I know some
something you
people
see
thought
often.
there was a conspiracy theory that that was planned, or like that it was like, are they the same? Or did they do it for the same reason? And I was like, guys, that's a bit of a stretch,
Please.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it was
like
just
Austria.
unlucky.
Austria was just like
Austria was a lot.
a terrible. It was just a terrible vibe weekend all along, and like I'm gonna touch on this very quickly, but like there have been reports, and like we're not gonna let this slide, obviously, but there have been reports
and
of
evidence.
certain fans in Austria and evidence of certain fans in Austria just being terrible people. Like we're not like you can go into whatever, like it's like a bunch of like homophobic stuff, racist stuff, sexist stuff coming from fans going towards other fans, and it's just like coming from us. Like I have a Red Bull jacket on, I know, and like Austria is mostly Red Bull fans, but like come on, man, like y'all can do better as people. F1 has been trying to become an even more accessible sport for everyone in the terms of fans, drivers, people in the paddock, just everything, right? Like the last thing we need is like you assholes doing your thing in the towards other fans. It's like completely unnecessary. Just wanted to touch upon that.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts. Obviously,
Yeah.
like these two have thoughts as well.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's been taken
Do better as
seriously.
people, man.
It annoys it is frustrating, like F1, as with any other sport, it's a community, right? We're all there to watch. We're all there for the same reason, right? To watch these cars, see it live, to experience a race live. Like, yes, we may have our own, like, we all support our own team and all that, but like we're all there to enjoy, and it's supposed to be a safe space. Don't ruin it for everybody else. Like, that's not what we need. It's not. The FIA also, like, again, another one of the thousands of things they did wrong. They did not do shit about it. They, like, were just like, oh, we're contacting security. It was just like, yeah, if you have a problem, go to them. Kick the people out? Like, hello? That doesn't help. Like, yeah, cool. I definitely feel safe when, like, no. It's a very frustrating. It was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Luckily,
But-
it's getting better. Everyone's calling it out and everyone's supporting. The teams are very supportive, and all the drivers
Yeah.
that spoke about it. A lot of drivers,
Yeah.
at least.
The
The
next in
construct-
the constructors is McLaren
Ah!
Mercedes now.
Ah!
Ha!
So much to talk. If you think
Wait.
we had a lot to talk about the top three, whew, we had a lot to talk
The
about
midfield
these
is.
two. The
Midfield
midfield
is
this
something
year,
else
the
this year.
midfield is on fire this year. It is exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
4
So,
to
let's-
8 is
let's
midfield,
touch
I
on-
think.
Let's touch on McLaren, Mercedes. So at the start of the season, they had a terrible start to the season.
Oh,
have
do we
admit.
want to
But-
recall what happened in Bahrain? That was
No.
interesting race.
No.
Because
No, we don't. That car was awful.
that car was insanely bad in Bahrain. Insanely
Bro,
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, kudos to them for getting a car that's, in the top, 4 of the constructors
For
right
now. But
Yeah, for
For
now. But
now,
they're
yeah.
still. I see. Here's the thing. They may be top 4 in the constructors. I don't think they're the 4th fastest car.
No,
I
definitely
think
not.
Alpine is going to take over.
I think Lando is just doing everything he can with that car right now.
Re-
He's in seventh place. He's best of the rest, as everyone says it, because obviously the Ferrari and Mercedes and Red Bull drivers are taking up the top six. So Lando's best of the rest. I think Lando is performing the best he can with what he's given. Lando got that podium in
Imola.
I think it was Imola.
Imola.
He loves
but
Italy. He loves Italy.
yeah, he really does. So I think McLaren just needs to continue developing their car, and they'll be able to at least keep up like with like this top four battle. I don't know if they're in the same sense that they're gonna fight with the Mercedes and the Ferraris,
No, I
No.
but
don't even think
yeah,
that's
but
in the
I think
horizon. To be honest, I
No.
think their
but I
thing is
yeah, but
best to the rest.
but I think if they provide Lando with a good car, I think Lando will still be able to capture the occasional podium or two for the remainder of the season.
I don't think he's gonna get
I
to win this
unfor-
year. I don't
I
think
I
don't
don't
so.
think he's gonna get a
Yeah.
win, but I think he's gonna get a podium.
Another one
Uh,
Like
probably.
some crazy thing's gonna happen, and like Lando's gonna end up in third. Unfortunately, cannot say the same for Daniel.
Right,
Daniel
I have very
Ricciardo-
strong opinions about this man and how McLaren have been treating him, because I've been going deep diving into this because Daniel has been struggling the entire season, from start to the he's had point spells 3 times. He's been in the points only 3 times this season. That's painful to say, but the thing is, McLaren, like, look, you can obviously say put some blame on Daniel, but I feel like a lot of the blame also has to do with McLaren and their strategies and what the frick they're trying to do with his car, and what kind of setup they're doing it, because they're just setting him up for failure. The amount of times that
Oh, yeah.
if you hear like the McLaren radio of like, there have been times where Daniel has actually been faster than Lando, but because of whatever strategy that McLaren has, refuses to make them switch, refuses to give Daniel the better strategy, even though he was statistically faster than Lando. There's been a lot of I don't know if it was Silverstone or if it was Austria, of he was
Austria
doing really
sprint
well.
Was bad.
No. There was a point where he was doing really well, then all of a sudden, his race engineer was like, right, we need to save fuel. Don't go as hard. And it was quite early on the race, and I was just like, okay, but why did we get to this place in the first? How did we get here in the first place? I personally cannot put all this blame on Daniel himself. He is actually genuinely trying. It's just that for some reason the car just hasn't been it, and the team just haven't been supporting him as much as they should be. In general,
I
Have you
Like-
heard the onboard on Austria Sprint where he was faster than Lando, asked to switch positions, then they said basically hang back, we're checking, and continued that for like half the sprint race basically, and he should have been ahead of the Lando basically. He was going faster, but team didn't help him there. Strategy failed him.
I don't know what McLaren's approach is with Daniel right now. I understand in Renault, he obviously it was a mix of he didn't have the best package, in terms of a car, because the Renault was not exactly the best car in the grid at that time. With McLaren at the start of with last season, yes, the struggles were a bit more alerting, I don't know. But he did get that win, which proved that there is still the
Something.
Daniel of old
we know,
that we know of,
the Daniel we know.
right? Right?
Daniel who won
Like-
Monaco in so many races.
Yeah, and I don't know, this season, I actually don't want to put a lot of the blame on Daniel. Let's say hypothetically we put him into let's put him back into the Red Bull, and he's just allowed to let loose. I honestly think that Daniel's gonna be second place to Verstappen right now,
Mm.
P2 in the drivers' championship.
So right now, Marco, the advice for Red Bull, he was talking about former Red Bull drivers, and he said Daniel was one of the few drivers who keep up with Max, but he wasn't as consistent. He has the pace, he has the speed, just not the consistency or the adaptability of the other drivers.
What? Dude, in Ricardo's last season, Ricardo was winning more races at the start of the season, and then and then after he announced his move to Renault, his car just kept blowing up.
No,
I don't know what that was about. But yeah, Marco said that Ricardo was fast. He was amazingly fast, and
he
if he
still
stayed in Red
is.
Bull,
He still is.
No,
just haven't
okay.
seen
The
that in a
whole
long time.
that what if of if Daniel stayed in Red Bull is a whole other story, as along with
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of our other opinions that we can go on for hours. Pound.
F1 and racing
Yeah, but-
has so many what ifs. Like, what if he didn't do this turn like this and this
Yeah,
DNF
no.
didn't happen?
I mean,
the
that's with
safety
everything
car.
in life, to be honest. What ifs, but F1,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot that they seem more at stake. Anyways, but back
Yeah.
to Daniel and McLaren.
I hope that the break after Hungary, because that's when the break's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
After Hungary.
Yeah,
Yeah. I hope that after the break in Hungary, I think just give Ricardo the time to just like be on his own and just get his mojo back. And when he comes back, just allow McLaren to let him loose, right? Like McLaren are not gonna sustain top 4 if they're always gonna keep favoring Lando to be up there. Like they gotta have both drivers be
Yeah.
up there, and they gotta be allowed. Yes, there's a risk of both drivers fighting each other on the grid, but what they don't realize is that to an extent, this sounds weird. It actually makes them go faster.
Yeah, it does. Hello,
'Cause
have
both
we
of
not
them are
seen that
pushing
with the
each other.
Ferrari? Is this like we've seen this
Yeah.
before? And I feel like at least I can't say for that. Actually, I can't say too much about Lando. Daniel is he's a very experienced driver. He'll know how to handle it because he's done it before with his teammate when he was back in Red Bull. He knows how to
Exactly.
handle that, so he'll be smart enough to make sure not to crash into Lando. So let them fight.
Yeah, honestly. Anyway, let's move on. 5th place,
We got
Alpine.
Alpine and
Alpine have
McLaren.
been doing
Both are
really
81
well,
points.
especially like they're I genuinely think Alpine will, with the way everything's going and how well Alonso and Ocon have been doing in the midfield, and their car has been looking very quick recently, especially in Austria. In like the free
Especially-
practices, they were like up there in the top 5.
Yeah.
Like, they've
Alonso
been
qualified
very
P2,
quick.
Canada.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
no,
that was rain conditions. I mean,
Yeah, but
it was
still.
rain conditions, but at the same time, it's just
Like,
like
still.
Alonso did put it on pole for like a quick second,
So Alpine
and I was just like,
have had
Alonso on
reliability.
pole?
Alpine also
Oh.
had reliability issues a lot throughout the year. They should have been much higher. Alonso has had so much bad luck, specifically Alonso.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ocon had that engine failure in, or no, was it gearbox failure
Silverstone.
in?
He had a failure in
Silverstone.
Silverstone, basically.
Yeah.
But
But I
other
mean,
than
like,
that,
other
Ocon's
th-
been okay.
Ocon has
He's
been
a-
Yeah, but I
very
mean-
consistent.
Yeah, Ocon has just been vibing, honestly.
You know, here's the thing. I think someone was on Twitter saying like, no one really talks about Ocon. He can quite easily like go from the pit lane, start to like a podium, and like no one will notice. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you know
no-
what? Unfortunately,
Yeah, no
that's
one
kind of how it
notices
is. Because he's just
Yeah.
He's won a
there.
race.
He's just vibing.
He's
like,
just
honestly,
vibing
he's
on
just
and
like-
off the track. He's just chilling, and I'm like, you know what? Go, good for you, Esty Bestie. Good for you.
Alpine has a lot of potential to like finish in 4th this
Mhm.
season. I think they just need to figure out their reliability issues.
Yeah.
And that's honestly it. It's just reliability
Yeah, it's
issues.
just
Both of their
reliability.
drivers,
Both their drivers are good.
It's
Like,
mostly
strategies-
Alonso, then it's
their
screwed.
strategies are fine for the positions that they're in.
Yeah.
I do not complain about what they do. Like obviously, if they get into some sort of incident on track, then obviously they have to switch.
Oh my
things up,
gosh, wait, do you
change
remember
the plan.
was it Saudi? There was like for like I think 5 consecutive laps. We saw nobody else except the 2 of them fighting. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, but it was good that they
hilarious.
allowed them to fight.
Yeah, they fought. I remember
Otmar, like,
Otmar was on the
good-
pit wall that weekend for Sky, and he was just like, "We're letting them fight. It's great for our sponsors,
Yeah, and,
so go ahead." And they didn't
and
crash
we were
into
just-
each other.
No, like, and I was
Yeah.
watching that, and I was like, you know what? I respect that.
See,
think-
you can have good teammates battling each other and be fine.
Yeah, listen to that McLaren.
Mm-hmm.
These two are definitely, I think, the strongest like both driver pairing in the midfield
Yeah.
with the car. Like all of it
Yeah.
Yeah, and
together.
it's
Best
It's
of the
because I
rest.
think it's because they have a. I honestly think they have the best dynamic between the drivers. Like strategies are perfectly fine. The driver dynamic is amazing. The only thing that they need to fix is the engine, and I think that they would probably have been the third best team if Mercedes wasn't improving, right?
I don't
And
think
like
it's that
we also
close.
saw this, last season with like El Plan and Ocon's win. You know,
Yeah, no,
like
they work so
Oh,
well
con
together.
single
I
win.
think
Yeah.
they are
yeah,
genuinely like an underrated like grid pairing. The two
yeah.
of them, they're very. I
I th-
mean, I have. It's not a small thing. It's a small thing. It's a petty thing, but I just found it. So Alonso, which I guess if it works for him, it works for him in terms of like he's placed very well. If you remember good old Monaco and his lovely DRS train, where
Oh my god, that was amazing.
so grid. I'm diagramming to the camera.
This is Monaco
Track
things.
top like 5. Going along. There is like on one side of the track. On the other side of the track is Alonso holding up every other driver, and like the
Bro,
track is now
well-
separated into two. It's so funny.
We're gonna put a photo.
Yeah,
We're gonna put a photo up of
like,
it.
what
It's
it looked like.
amazing.
So funny.
It was glorious. It was
like it was
so
annoying
funny
for
to
sure,
see.
but it was funny. It was annoying, but it was funny. I will not.
No one
lie.
could
No, like,
overtake him
I
on Monaco.
remember the track diagram came out during the race, and there was just like the top 5 were all fighting in like the last sector, and Alonso was just leading this train down
Yeah.
the hairpin,
Yeah,
down the
It
hairpin.
was the most
and I was just
insane
like,
DRS
this is the
train.
no one
this
could
is the
cross them.
greatest thing I've
This
ever
is
seen
that
in
is
the
El
history of the
Plan.
Monaco Grand Prix.
That is El Plan. It's just Alonso doing DRS trains. That is the entirety of El Plan.
Bro, it was unreal. It was so funny.
So near the end, when Ocon got that penalty, Alonso sped up so he could,
Oh yeah.
so Ocon wouldn't have
So
to
he
lose
could
his
help him
position.
out. I
Yeah.
remember that.
I also remember it
Yeah,
not
but-
working, but they tried.
Yeah, they tried. They tried. Alpine up
Lewis
in-
messed
Alpine-
Lewis messed it up for them because Lewis was annoyed of being behind Alonso. So when Alonso sped up,
I mean,
Lewis
hello. They
didn't
have
let
they have
Ocon speed
beef.
up.
They have
Yeah, bro,
long-standing
that
beef. No,
No,
so-
dude, that was so funny when Alonso started speeding up. That was like the biggest slap to the face.
Yeah,
to like
no, it
everyone
was.
behind him.
Because he's just like, I'm cruising, and now I'm gonna like zoom and look, and then he was like, I think he was like attempting fastest laps at one point, and I was like, where did this come from? Okay.
Yeah, so
Bro,
Lewis didn't. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference to Lewis, so he might as well stop Ocon from getting points. Ocon.
It's fine. But no, yeah. In general, Alpine have been doing really, really well.
Yeah.
I expect them to be in the podium at least once or twice
Yeah.
this season.
The car wise,
Yeah.
they feel like the Ferrari of the midfield. Fast car, reliability issues, driver pairing is amazing.
Yeah, when the two Alpines fight, there's like a respect to their fighting. I mean, with almost every car in the grid, but there's like a certain level of like, they understand that we're fighting each other, but we're fighting each other to make each other like improve in our times and shit,
Mhm.
right?
Never in my life I saw a defense like Esteban today. Never.
But then when
that
it comes
way.
time for like, oh, we need Esteban to get up. Alonso's like, all right, what do I need to do? Or if the roles are switched, Ocon's like, all right, we need Alonso to get up there. What do I need to do? Right?
Mhm.
It's like they put it's selflessness.
Yeah.
That's on it. They have a
Yeah,
lot of
no,
selflessness, and that's
I think
something
part
that
of that is
I
'cause
respect a lot.
Neither of them is trying to be WTC right now. Leclerc
Yeah.
needs to put points in position.
This yeah, no, but here that's my not to go back to Ferrari, but like real quick, Sainz and Leclerc, just because there's really bad communication, not necessarily on their part on track, but just like with their engineers and again the strategy team of like
Ferrari.
what is allowed, because we're getting close to crunch time of like, look, statistically, yeah, Carlos can still win the world championship, but Charles should be kind of Ferrari's bigger focus in terms of getting points, because there's more that they have to catch up on now that Red Bull sort of took the reins the last couple of races.
Yeah.
So there's been confusion but it's not necessarily. I can't blame Carlos and Charles. It's again blame on the strategy team of like, you guys really need to hone in on like being direct with them, being like, when whose turn is it, so that
Team
we can
orders,
get
basically.
the maximum kind of team orders, so that we can get the maximum amount of like points and like make sure that not like the fucking sprint race where like they spend most of the time fighting each other. Then Max was like, "Woohoo! I'm off in the heavens and I'm gonna win." Like like we can't keep on doing that. That
It's
doesn't.
funny
these
'cause-
stuff like Alpine, they know what works.
During Schumacher's time, Ferrari used to be much more stricter with their drivers. Like they would have clear directions for who's winning and who's
I mean,
not.
yeah, because but when you have like the greatest driver of all time driving your car, you know who's the number one driver.
See, but
Yeah.
like you have to make that kind of culture, and Ferrari used to have that culture, and over the
Yeah,
years
no,
it's gone off. Vettel and Charles, they had their issues.
Yeah.
Kimi
Binotto
and
needs
Vettel
to
also had
like.
issues.
Binotto really needs to like be like stricter. He needs to assert himself
no,
more.
because I think it was when Kimi left Ferrari and Charles came in. Because Charles came in like guns blazing, essentially, right?
Yeah, no,
like,
Charles was very.
He
good at
he
this.
came in and was like immediately like probably better than Sebastian, right? So then at the same time they didn't know who the number one driver was,
Actually, no,
Mm.
there's some
and then
onboards.
obviously happened.
There's some onboards on Vettel and Kimi where Ferrari is suggesting Kimi to back off. Suggesting, not ordering, suggesting, and Raikkonen is not having any of it. He's just like, tell me to move back or
Mhm.
not. Like,
Yeah.
so it's gotten
Yeah.
worse since Charles came. Not because of Charles, just
Yeah.
because of him being fast
we
and
miss
Vettel.
you, Kimi. We miss you, Iceman.
So going to
Yeah,
we
I'm so
also
happy
have-
he's racing again, but that's a side note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
After
let's go
Alpine.
down the order.
We got Alfa Romeo and
after-
Haas.
Okay, wait.
Let's talk about Alfa Romeo first. I really want to talk
Yes,
about one
because
person. Alfa
I feel like
Romeo.
they're so underrated because they're just fucking Valtteri Bottas is just out here vibing in the points almost every weekend. Like,
Bottas is
no,
having
Valtteri
such
Bottas
a better
is-
time after he
bro,
left Mercedes.
Valtteri Bottas is hauling that trash can into the points. And
Yeah.
honestly, good for him. Redemption season, bro. Honestly.
He's
Zhou
having the
Guan
time of his
Yu
life.
Also.
the Zhou Guan Yu is a different
Yeah,
story,
honest-
but I love him.
Okay, I wanna
Oh.
talk about Zhou Guan Yu because at the start of the season, I was very skeptical about Zhou Guan Yu because he is a pay driver, and there was a huge stigma with pay drivers.
There still
But-
is.
He has 5 points. He is 17th in the standings. Obviously, not everything has gone his way this season. We'll talk about Silverstone in a bit, but he has been performing extremely well
For his rookie year, especially.
for,
Yeah,
a,
for his
for a
rookie
rookie
year.
in an Alfa Romeo to
He's
put it in the
doing
points
well.
in his first race.
Yeah, that
and then
one was the one
to-
I treasure that one. That one was good. Zhou Guan Yu has done incredibly this season. He's like had really bad luck. His car he has had to DNF like a lot.
lot.
Like, I think-
Yeah,
Wait,
but that's just the
check
Ferrari
how many.
powertrain, honestly.
well, no, but not all. Bro, you can't always. It wasn't always.
It's
it
not
wasn't
only
always
Ferrari's thing.
No,
I
but
mean, like we can talk
it's
about
not always the
like,
PU.
his-
Basically, it's not always the power unit.
yeah,
Um,
but we can talk about the very scary accident that he had in
God,
Silverstone. That
Silverstone was insane.
Jesus Christ.
So the
Silverstone was
Silverstone opening lap
insane.
accident with Zhou Guan Yu's car literally turning upside down
Multiple
going
times.
in,
Yeah,
like-
like
and
flipping
hitting
upside down and then
over the
sliding
tire-
across the track.
Yeah, over the
and then
tire
hopping over the
barrier,
tire barrier and
into the metal
into
fence.
the mental fencing,
mental
and then the halo
mental.
the halo being stuck on the fence and he couldn't get out right away.
There's,
That was fucking
That
scary,
was
dude.
scary. That was
there's so
that
many
was
pictures of
only
it you can find
the
online
there
now.
there I mean warning. I don't know if you want to show photos. You don't have.
I don't know
to.
for-
I feel
It's
like
just scary.
Please
but
search it at your own discretion.
yeah,
but we're
because
not
they're a
gonna put
bit
photo
scary.
of it.
There's like one of him like where, again, because of the halo, but like his head upside down on the track, and you see the sparks with his helmet
Like,
touching
right behind
the
him.
tarmac, like the road. It's insane how bad
Yeah,
that was. That genuinely could have been ended a
Yeah.
lot worse.
Thank God for
Um,
Halo. Halo also
thank
saved
God
a
for the
life
Halo. The
that same
Halo-
day on
Yeah,
in
with the
F2.
with the Roy
Yeah,
Nissany.
yeah.
But Roy Nissany was
It's amazing that these
that's a
cars-
separate. But no, the Halo multiple times over the past couple years have saved so many lives. Like
Yeah,
it is a
Leclerc in
godsend.
2018.
Oh yeah,
Freaking Monza last year.
Hamilton
Lewis and
and
Max.
Verstappen's crash,
Yeah,
right?
Hamilton.
That
and-
one was
yeah,
because of the
Hamilton and-
halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Halo,
We can talk
amazing.
about Grosjean maybe.
I think it's
well-
really far back, but yeah, his life also. I don't know if it was same at Halo or
Yeah.
not.
Wait, which one was it?
Grosjean was I think 2019.
Which one? The fire one?
No, that's 2020.
Fire
Oh,
one was
no.
2020 Bahrain Grand Prix.
I'm trying to remember which other.
You know, there's
One
another
was it
another
that
couple
the
ones that were
Halos-
like Halo saving.
Anyway, yeah, it's all these crashes scary, and thank God everyone's come out
Yeah.
alive. This is a very
Um,
dangerous sport, and
Yeah,
every time
yeah,
these
yeah.
guys go out and race at 300 miles per hour, 300
Yeah,
kilometers
no,
per hour, not miles, in
Yeah.
giant
It-
cars.
Yeah.
it puts perspective into like the sport, but like it was incredible to see him walk out of that, and race the next
Yeah.
weekend. Like it was a
Yeah.
double header. We weren't sure if he was gonna race the next weekend, but he
Yeah.
did, and I
But
was
I mean,
very
like-
happy that he
That
I mean, going back to
crash-
the drivers. Like, I think Bottas is like.
Well, that's just
happy
living
where
his
he is right
life.
now.
I
He's
think
Yeah,
he
he's
should be
himself,
very
no pressure.
satisfied. He's amazing. Like I think this is a
Yeah.
time where yeah, exactly as Kush said. There's no pressure for him to be on top performing team. So he's just kind of just enjoying himself and racing for himself, for his
then-
satisfaction, and it's
Po-
paid off
Yeah, and then
pretty
posting-
well.
There's so
And
many.
then posting photos of his ass. on
Yeah,
Twitter.
there's so many. good
Yeah,
memes
and
out
he's
of
just
it.
been a naturalist. You know what?
It's
Him, Esteban,
Bottas
and
is-
Valtteri
looks so
have just
happy.
been living their life on and off track, and you know
Yeah.
what? That's what they
But-
deserve. Especially
Yeah, but I
Valtteri
think
after
it's-
everything.
I think it's too early to tell with Zhou Guan Yu, but I have high hopes for the guy.
I think they'll
after
renew
think
his
he's-
contract. I think he'll stay another year.
Yeah,
I think he's actually gonna improve.
he
over
deserves.
Oh, he
at
will.
least more drives.
Shogun
Yeah,
Yu
he's gonna go
deserves.
into a good
I think he has so much more to do and prove this season, and he will.
Yeah.
He will. I have 100% belief. Like the Alfa Romeo again. Like it's good to sort of see them. I mean, the Alfa Romeo has improved. I mean, they're in the points a lot this season, especially with Valtteri. I feel like a lot of it is Valtteri like pushing to the limit, but it's also like it is a better car this season, so that's exciting to see. And I think they're just vibing. Out of all the other than the Alpine, they're just the one vibing in the middle, like the complete middle ground.
I wish they didn't have so
Yeah.
many DNFs though. So many times. I remember I
Yeah.
was looking at some, so I was like, when did Bottas even retire? What happened? And no, it's
I
just
don't
another
remember.
mechanical failure for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no.
outside of
that was-
retirement,
But yeah,
they're
no,
both
but
having a great
I
time.
think Alfa Romeo are gonna slowly improve their car. They have drivers that are one is finding his mojo and one is rapidly improving. So I think they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
In the darkest
Speaking of-
McLaren
yeah.
timeline, Alfa Romeo. So I'm pretty sure Alpine is definitely gonna take over McLaren, but if Alfa Romeo also takes over McLaren, that will be dark days for McLaren.
Oh, that'd be a
Oh,
very
yeah,
dark
for
day
sure.
If
for
it
McLaren,
improves
but I
that
don't.
much, it's not out of the
Uh,
question. It's just unlikely right now.
I
You
think
never
it's
know how
for
the rest of
me
the season's gonna
less.
be.
It's less of Alfa Romeo doing that, but it's more on Haas
McLaren.
that has the more power to overtake McLaren
Yeah, no, oh my God,
in the
dude.
constructors.
The Haas.
Especially
Haas this
recently
year?
with Mr. Mick Schumacher doing points again.
2 double
Dude,
point
this-
finishes.
Okay, wait. We'll talk about the drivers in a bit. Let's talk about the car real quick.
Oh,
This Haas car has been the biggest surprise of the season. I'm not
It
even
has.
like
it has. It
Dude,
has.
like
Literally,
last
when-
year's Haas was
It was so
Oh my-
bad. Last year's Haas.
It was-
it
was
was
awful.
worse than
No
a
points.
tractor, guys.
It
Worse
never
than
ended
a
up in
tractor.
P10 or above.
bro.
Worse than a tractor last year. We do not even talk about who the other driver was, along with Mick.
So
He's
this
gone.
year,
We don't
Came
even
back, came
need-
back,
Done, that's all that
and
matters.
came in literally like nothing's changed, and came in with more fire because he put that shit top 5 off the bat.
in the first
First race back.
yeah, everyone
Actually,
was so
no, no,
Bro,
surprised.
Haasterplan, bro.
Haas
Haasterplan.
has
The
also
Steiner ship
had
is
one upgrade, I
the
think.
sailing.
The Steiner ship.
The Steiner ship is growing, guys. No, but
Yeah.
I think it was Bahrain testing, or Barcelona. I think it was Bahrain testing, not Barcelona testing. That was when Bahrain was when K-Mag came in, and it was because he came in so late. The teams allowed Haas to get like an extra hour of testing because
Yeah.
of the car, and for shits and gigs, K-Mag was P1 of the day. He ended up being P1, and everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck? Maybe everyone else is just sandbagging." But then they consistently kept on being up there, and everyone's like, "Wait, is Haas like cooking something?" And so basically the story with Haas is they literally put off upgrading anything to do with their 2021 car and focused all their time and efforts on developing this year's car because of the new regulations. Because every team was starting off on a fresh slate, they had a better chance to improve this season, so they literally gave up essentially their 2021 season to focus on the 2022 car, and like it's paid off quite well, you would say.
But I think a part of it is it's many factors going into Haas's like resurgence. One is Magnussen coming back and giving them a boost of experience. I think they really needed that boost of experience of like an F1 driver who's been in there for a while. That's one. Mick is finally coming into his own, and we're all so happy to see it.
Yeah.
Scoring his first points in Silverstone, and then like you can literally see in Silverstone, like after he scored his first points, it's like a huge weight was lifted off his shoulders.
And now
scored
he's
points again.
rep
Yeah, he scored
era.
points again in Austria, and like he didn't seem afraid to fight with the top teams anymore.
Yeah,
like,
oh
he
my
was
gosh, he was
genuinely putting
fighting
his
Max
car.
Verstappen.
He was fighting
Yeah.
Max in Silverstone. And that was an
He was
incredible
fighting
battle.
Hamilton in Austria.
Yeah,
Max
he was
Verstappen,
fighting
the
him.
best driver
like-
right now. He's going wheel to wheel with him in the last lap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like it
no,
was
dude, Verstappen. No, Mick would have beaten Verstappen. Obviously, Verstappen's car was damaged, but Mick would have beaten Verstappen that day if Verstappen didn't cut him off in the last corner.
genuinely
In
it
Au-
could have happened.
In Austria, Schumacher and Hamilton were fighting.
Oh,
And
both
they-
times.
Oh my
both in
God.
the
K-Mag
both in
and
the
both-
sprint. Yeah, both in the sprint and in the main race in Austria
Actual
was
race.
incredible. You know, Mick is really. I know a lot of people because obviously came in flying colors and was like putting this car in points, and Mick had his struggles. Obviously, he had that crash in Saudi and couldn't race, and had car problems. And like, there's been so many times where he's sort of been like, you know, like George was for a lot of the time, being like so close to points. So I feel like there was a lot more pressure for Mick to like really perform, and I'm thankful he has, because I feel like we've now unleashed a whole new Mick, and he's like Schumacher genes are kicking in, where he's just like, I'm gonna start fighting. And as he should, because I feel like he has so much to offer, and like it's very exciting.
Yeah.
The Haas duo, Haas is looking very strong. Could quite easily, perhaps, go ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. I am praying for a Haas podium. It's a stretch, but like it can happen.
Yeah. Fun fact: Mick in his F2 and F3 seasons. First season doesn't go anything of note. Second season, halfway through, he turns it up. That's how he won his second season in F2.
Yeah, that's how he
Halfway
won
through
the
second season, then went
championship.
boom. Just
Yep.
exactly what happened now. Another
Exactly.
thing, was it Michael Schumacher's first points in Austria were what? I think P9, and Mick Schumacher's first points in Austria are also P9. Just nice little cute thing.
Yeah.
What? Mick was not
yeah.
P9 in Austria.
Wasn't it P9 or was it P8? I just remember
He
it was
was
the same. I thought it was P9.
P6 in Austria.
P6?
He started P9.
Oh wow, I've got that. Yeah, my bad.
Oh gosh. Do not trust
Ah.
Kush for facts. He has a
No,
rookie
no.
brain.
I forgot. One thing. Okay, no, I don't think. Wait, I'm opening race results. No, I'm going to pull up Michael Schumacher's Austria race results now. I found it. So in 1997 in Austrian Grand Prix, Michael Schumacher started 9th and he ended 6th. And
Oh,
did the
that's
same thing.
cute. That's cute.
It was meant to be.
yeah,
Oh.
About to become a 7-time
that
world champion
is
again.
crazy. 25
It's
was it?
cute.
Is it 25 years? Yeah, 25 years after his father. Starts same, ends exactly same.
Mick always takes a bit of time to like find his groove. He always needs 1.5 seasons to like find his groove, and we're seeing it now again. And honestly, sky's the limit for Mick now.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure to score points is
It's
gone.
gone. Yep. It's just
Now
him.
it's just him, like just driving his best, and he's gonna get those points because that Haas is a very fast car. But I honestly think that Mick has a very promising future.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
He'll
Like the
be in
future,
He'll be
the
in
future.
the Ferraris in a couple of years.
I
Yeah,
double points for Haas, 2 weekends in a row. Mick Schumacher's looking
Ha-
confident
Haas,
as hell.
the Steiner ship is sailing at Haas, and it's so exciting, and I'm so glad to see
God.
it happen. It is
It
big props to Haas.
yeah,
the memes are so funny
Yeah.
with signership.
yeah.
They are.
Unfortunately, no ships are sailing in AlphaTauri.
Oh my God,
What
they
the
are
hell
having a
happened?
stinker.
You
want to
go straight there.
They are
This-
no,
this
honey.
se-
They're having a stinker of the season.
Bro, I don't know
um,
what's going on this season either.
Gasly
I-
and
I-
Yuki. Oh my god.
There's yeah, no, it's strange because I actually cannot put an exact reason as to why they just haven't been why they haven't been performing, like, because Yuki has become a better driver this season. He has.
He has.
He isn't
That's
making
true.
as many mistakes anymore. Like, he has grown up and matured in the car, but the car has just not been it for him. Is I think
Yeah, the
what's going on?
this is the one, like I think this is where they're like, cause like obviously AlphaTauri are on the Red Bull powertrains, and technically they're like a sister team, so they should be getting the information from Red Bull powertrains, but it just doesn't seem like their aero package is like complementing their powertrain, because I refuse to believe that with the strongest power unit in the back of your car, that you're like your drivers are 13th and 16th and you're like 8th in constructors.
Yeah.
They're
No, there's
they should
something
be
else
doing
going
much
on.
better.
But like, there's something else that's going on, but it's not even entirely on their drivers. That's the thing that I'm not like, what's not clicking is my issue.
I mean, they're scoring points, but very, very seldom. Like Gasly has 16, Tsunoda has 11, which means that they are both. Which means that they are both able to put it in the points. They're both able to put it in the points,
Meh.
but
They haven't
Yeah,
gotten
they're,
points since what?
Is it like car issue or
Baku.
doesn't?
I think it's a car issue, honestly.
It
I
seems
don't
to be
know.
a car issue.
I don't want to put it on the drivers because I feel like if you put those two in like cars that are actually reliable,
I will say
you-
this: there's been a couple iffy things from Pierre
And Yuki, for that
recently,
matter.
and Yuki. Well, Yuki has actually been well this season. That's the thing. Pierre's made small blunders, small ones, that aren't too bad, but they have been a bit costly. But I genuinely think it's just the car. It's just the car. It hasn't been it.
Yeah.
Pierre Gasly, Pierre Costly.
God.
I'm
I
sorry.
was like, this
Ay, ay.
bitch is giggling. Why? I get it. Why now? But yeah, no, AlphaTauri just hasn't, and it sucks because they're good drivers. And like, what? Pierre is now stuck in this car. I guess they're announcing that he is driving for them
He's gonna
in
be for next year.
2023. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep Yuki because again, like, it hasn't been his fault,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
has actually improved this year.
Yeah, he has.
And it's nice to see, even though Helmut Marko. Did you like? I will not go into it because it's a lot. I think Yuki's improving. Has improved a lot this season, and those two boys have a lot more to give. The car just hasn't been it, and it sucks to see. Honestly, I miss it. I miss it when they were, fighting more up in the points.
It's very
Yeah.
easy to forget about them just because they're not really
Mm-hmm.
in contention with anything. Like,
Yeah,
I
they
forgot
haven't
about
really
them
been,
when we were
like,
doing this list. I did.
there's no
Yeah,
DNFs.
they've
There's
kinda
nothing
been-
big.
yeah.
They're just
They've kind of been non-factors, honestly, in like the grid, which is sad. Like Gasly was on fire in the 2020 season, and like him and Tsunoda were like pretty good in the 2021
Yeah.
season. So it's just like kind of surprising. Like what's going on with him now.
Good thing are
Mhm.
the
I mean,
memes.
hopefully,
Pierre and
hopefully
Yuki
it's like
shipping
a
memes
sorry,
are
go
the
ahead.
best. So,
Ah,
Oh my
my
God.
here. Yeah, they've been the off track content with them have been great. The on track has been like baritone on, and it's sad to see. I hope
Yeah.
they turn a new
I hope-
leaf, but I don't know. I don't know.
I hope it's just like a fluky regulation season and they find their form again next season.
I'm
Yeah.
worried about Yuki though. The pressure.
It might.
Pressure
I
of
feel
not
like he's
performing.
okay.
He had a crash in Austria. Not a crash, but he had the contact with Pierre.
Oh God, yeah, when they like their cars kissed. I remember that.
Wasn't that Silverstone?
No, he is right. It is Silverstone. Good job, Marcus.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think the pressure is getting to him. I mean, like obviously, like again, I kind of not ignoring the topic. We'll save it for another day. Like Helmut Marko is Helmut Marko, and has been.
Fuck, I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, there will always be pressure under that man. That is different from any other person on the grid. But I feel like Yuki is handling it very well, and I just think give them a car. When that will be,
Yeah.
I don't know when, but like those two have they have shown us that they can do magic on the track. They just need a better car. That's the story.
Yeah. Honestly.
Plain and
yeah.
simple.
Now, okay, we're done with AlphaTauri.
Oh,
How do we even start with Aston Martin?
depression. This one, I'm just depression. There's
Aston
nothing
Martin
good
is so
except
sad.
Vettel. It is
Like
sad. There's
this is I remember, but I remember when I first heard that Aston Martin was gonna be an F1 team. Everyone had such high hopes because of and I did too. I genuinely, when I got into the sport, by the time I got into the sport by June, July of last year, I was like, oh, Aston Martin's I expected them to be a pretty good midfield team. And they were, because, Sebastian was on the podium in Baku, and he was he was fighting to win in Hungary.
Yeah, last season.
And then
Yeah.
it sort of just, as the season
Fell off.
progressed, they fell off. And as the season
Yeah, and I
started,
think- Just got worse.
Okay, so
it's not good.
Well,
They have
it's
two
just, I think
drivers.
it's also.
right,
No,
they
no
have
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. They have Sebastian Vettel, the veteran winner, champion, and Lance Stroll, and it started out strong with double points, and then since then just fallen apart. Upgrades not been working out.
Double
Sebastian had a good
points?
Baku.
They didn't
He had
wait.
early in the
double-
season, not the first race, early in the season.
Oh, okay. By the way, we started this
Yeah, but
season
then-
off. Whoa. Preface this. Sebastian had COVID during Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, so we
Yeah, I was
had
about to say.
Hulkenberg. We had Nico Hulkenberg at the
Super
first two
sub!
races.
Super sub!
Um.
Yeah, but then, like, I will say, Hulkenberg's 2 races as a super sub, didn't expect much from him. Didn't score points. Kind of sad, but, given the car that he was given, don't blame him either. But yeah, there was a lot of expectation for Aston Martin to really find their form and be a top midfield team, because the team that they used to be was Racing Point.
Yeah, and they were
and
amazing.
they had a very strong
They were amazing.
They had a very strong 2020 season.
Yeah.
Granted, it was a pink Mercedes,
Yeah, granted it was an
We can
illegal
argue that-
car. Granted the.
but
But yeah.
that performance should have given Aston Martin like the resources and the experience to make a car that was worthy of fighting for some of the top positions
Exactly.
in the 2021 season, which it looked for a while like they did, right?
Mhm.
But then it just flopped.
And it's been
like-
kind of flopping the rest of this season.
Yeah,
I
like
will
this
not lie.
Like this season, the car has improved quite a bit. Like they have been scoring points. Like Vettel is P14 in the driver's standings, but that's just his experience. as, like,
Yeah,
a
that's
four-time
just
world
Seb
champion.
really like pushing it and being a good
that's
driver.
Seb being
That's
Seb.
um.
Yeah,
wait,
like-
can we please? Do we all recall the green Red Bull?
Oh
when
yeah,
Aston
the
Martin
B-spec.
came in
Oh my
with
God,
their B spec car was basically a green Red Bull.
Oh my God, that's right.
They said they've been planning this from before the season started. Like they worked on
yeah,
the
that's what
B-spec
they said.
before
That's
that.
cap,
But the
bro.
thing
And they had
is,
evidence.
Let's,
It's
Mr.
possible.
Dan, but Mr. Dan Fallows. If you don't, so basically the story is, Aston Martin has basically bought a lot of engineers from Red Bull to move to Aston Martin. One of them being Dan Fallows, who was held up quite high in the Red Bull hierarchy. Now he was announced to leave for a long time, but didn't officially leave until April. But he was starting to make the transfer to Aston Martin months before, so there is crossover period.
Oh my god.
If anything happened because of that, we don't know. But like, I don't know. It's a bit sketch. But then like, obviously that came to shit because that car was still the car was still a tractor. The car was still a tractor after that.
It
I
was good for a
honestly
while.
go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
it
was good
wasn't.
for a
It
while, but
wasn't though.
Baku, Seb put up a good performance. Seb had good performances.
I
And
think
then,
but I think that's just Seb. That's not the car.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
okay,
just
yeah, he is outdriving the car.
Because like Stroll is P19 and he only has 3 points. Now Stroll in an Aston Martin, I expected to score at least a few more points.
Yeah.
Right? Because given certain situations, the car can score points. Vettel is proving it. He has 15, but that's Vettel driving that car, right? Vettel is one of the greatest drivers of all time. Stroll has 3 points. And I hate to say it, but he is not performing well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this season just hasn't been it for him. This season just hasn't
Like,
been it.
Stroll's not
like,
the bad
and
driver.
I-
Like, he's not the worst driver.
No,
he's
he's not the
not a
worst
bad
driver.
driver.
That's the
He's-
thing. He has shown he can be
He's
good.
had his
He's gone.
yeah, he's had his moments in the 2020 season where didn't he put it on pole?
Yeah,
Yes,
he put it on.
2020
he has
He's,
season?
put it-
he's put it on pole, and he's
He
been on
put
the
it
podium.
pole, He's been on the podium a few times, so he has the talent, right? So
Mhm.
obviously, maybe there's just something not going on with the car right now, or maybe it's just one of those bad seasons where you gotta bounce back after the break, or maybe next season. Either way, he's not performing well, and that's contributing to Aston Martin not being that high in the standings, being second to last essentially.
Yeah, no, there's like literally, I have not a lot of hope for Aston Martin. I don't. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, like, cause
Yeah.
like, I don't know. They're just like
There's-
fighting. They're
There's no sense of
scraping
lives.
every race, and Sebastian has come back every race, almost been like, it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Every
And
race,
Yeah.
Vettel looks sadder. I think if this goes on, Vettel will just lose his spirit. He just won't feel like he won't have the
You know,
energy
that's
and the
what's
motivation.
that's what's scaring me because of the Aston Martin. It's not even that like, oh, it's a badly performing car. It's like a badly performing car, but like the future is so blurry and
Bleak.
foggy that like
There's no
it's
good
not
side.
giving
Yeah.
him anything to be excited for. It's not like, oh, we have
Yeah.
new upgrades coming and we're working on a new car.
But yeah, there was a rumor for Lawrence Stroll to sell the team sometime soon. I don't know. I can't remember when. The rumor said that it was supposed to happen, but the fact that it's a rumor right now is just proving how like in the mud Aston Martin is this season and honestly last season as well.
I
Yeah,
feel so
bro,
bad
there's
for
like no
Vettel.
hope and it sucks, but I guess that's the sport, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Vettel deserves so much more. He's been such a
yeah,
good
he
activist
does.
off the track. On the track, he's been a great
Yeah,
racer.
no,
the
it's so
champion.
hard to see him be so dejected after every race. Like no.
Yeah, it is
For,
honestly.
first Ferrari broke him, and now Aston Martin. There's no happiness. I am very, very sad about Aston Martin, specifically Vettel. I am not too upset about Lance Stroll. I don't care very much about him. What? I'm just being honest. I'm being
No
honest.
regard, bro.
I'm being honest. It's not-
Emotional damage.
Oh
I'm
my
here for the
God.
Vettel show. I am not here for the Lance Stroll or the Aston Martin. His spin in Baku. If you go watch Vettel's recovery in Baku, what a sexy spin! I have never been so
Oh, yeah, that
attracted
was
to a racing
Oh.
move in my entire life
Oh
than
my
that in
God.
one move. That was amazing.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of spins that have been interesting. What
Oh.
was it? There was a Charles one, that Charles one in the wet.
Verstappen also had a wet one. I forgot where. I
Right.
don't remember where.
The
wet
George,
one.
there was a George Russell one that was very, very nice as well. Yeah, some of these stops they're really nice to watch.
Yeah.
They're
Like this-
they're very satisfying to watch.
The The
But
scale.
Anyways,
honestly,
though, Aston
yeah.
Martin is big sad, and
Let's
I,
hope
I,
that they
I can't
are.
even hope for better. There's the thing that I can't even hope for better. Like, this is just it.
Yeah, let's move on
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Williams.
but now, like, is it bad that I'm not even affected by the fact that Williams are at bottom again?
No, it's just it is life. That's it. That's just life.
No, because again, like they're like the competition is actually real this year. Like it like genuinely, because obviously last year there was like the top teams, midfield, and the back markers. But this year, like the back markers have been like the back markers are have like switched up a little bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, at
Okay.
least Williams has points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like,
wait, let's
yes, I got to talk
introduction
about my
works
boy.
review.
Let's go.
We have Alex Albon
We don't have
and
a lot of-
Latifi.
Okay,
Ah,
okay.
go
Let me.
Tiffy.
All right, let me take the
memes.
reins in this one. Alex, you've been doing wonderfully with what you have. You are
Yeah, he
bringing
has.
that car into positions where it shouldn't be. Yes, you had a stinker of an Austrian Grand Prix, but honestly, you didn't even do that bad. You know, you got into Q2. You've gotten into Q. Didn't he get into Q3 a few times, or was
No,
that
no.
Latifi?
Latifi has gotten into Q3 one time.
Okay,
Q3, yeah,
His entire
yeah,
career.
it's Silverstone,
But-
which was insane.
But can we talk about Australia? Because
Oh,
that
Australia was a
the-
masterclass from Mr. Mr.
Pit-
Alexander
Who needs
with
pit
his
stops?
red
Bro.
hair.
Pit
Dude,
stops are for
Mischa,
losers.
I don't know if you remember this. We were watching the Australian Grand Prix together, and I was like shouting at Williams, like asking what the hell are they doing with the car and like
That
stuff like that. Why
man.
haven't they pit him? And then they pit him on the last lap, and he ends up in the points. And I'm just like, this is the biggest brain thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
what
I
is
think
wrong with the
nobody
tire deck on
planned
that
it.
car. So many
Yeah.
laps on hards.
And like just to hear Albon happy after that, just oh my god, you deserved better, my king.
Albon is outperforming the car definitely. All 3 points of
Oh,
Oh,
victory
no,
has been
100%.
his.
He is
100%
100%
outperforming.
outperforming the car.
Except
Yeah,
whatever
I
happened
would-
in Silverstone where Latifi got Q3. I have no clue how that happened.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
just came
that-
out of nowhere.
That was so.
Yeah.
He outqualified.
And you know what?
well,
You know what? Fair is. Fair is enough.
He did it. Like he. That's his first
He-
time career-wise in Q3.
Yeah, and like, I mean, to be fair, like, it was weather conditions as well. Like, he got his lap time in at the perfect time where the lap times were not gonna improve afterwards anyway, so he was through regardless. But also it's just I don't know, just Albon had a stinker of a Q1 that, but I think Albon. To have Albon back on the grid is something I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Because I definitely think that he deserved to be treated so much better by Red Bull.
Although many people deserve to be treated better by Red Bull, but we been new.
Hey, to be fair,
Yeah.
Red Bull did go to bat for him to get him the Williams seat right now, and it's Williams, right?
Well, yes.
They're doing their best. They're
It is a
under new
seat.
ownership.
It's a seat regardless. No, you know, like I will and we always will have something bad to say about Red Bull, but like you know, doesn't mean everything they've done has been wrong. Just
Yeah,
a
so
lot of
like good on Red Bull for helping him get a seat, but also it's just I feel like their treatment of him while he was their driver was poor, honestly. And like we're
Yeah.
seeing it now, he's not under pressure from Red Bull. Granted, he is in one of if not the slowest car in the grid, but he's managed to throw that thing into the points. He's able to, you know, compete with certain cars in the midfield like on certain races, right? So it's not like he's just at the bottom of the barrel like every single race. Like he's putting that car higher than it should be.
Oh,
Let's-
100%.
Let's talk about
And-
the car.
Yeah. The car honestly,
There's been
like,
upgrades to it. But
there
then-
have been some upgrades to it, but at the
They
same
haven't
time I
worked
just feel
though
like
as well.
Yeah, Silverstone.
yeah, but I also just feel like Williams is sadly in like this purgatory of like F1 like finances wise, where it's like it's always gonna be hard for them to get out of it because they have been the worst car for like some time,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take like a sudden injection of like of money and like I guess like an overhaul of like the crew, like the non-driving crew, for them to like even get somewhere close to the midfield. I I don't know. It's a very sad situation for Williams right now, and I feel for them for being in this situation,
To
and
be
I do hope that they fight with the top teams again soon because that's where they honestly that's where they belong.
Yeah, no,
Year by
it is
year.
heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, year by year they
Yeah.
are making small improvements. Under new ownership, they have a new team principal, Josh, who was like, watching over Russell and Latifi last year.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gotten
Here's
better
my
than it
thing.
used to be. Years ago, it used to be
It,
just
it, it
depression.
Yeah, and I don't. Here's my thing with Williams. I don't know if they've. I guess they have progressed from last year, but at the same time, I feel like they've plateaued really quickly. Like
Yeah, they
they've
did.
gotten
That is
somewhere,
true.
and then they've just like there's just like
Yeah,
like
but that's
obviously
the
Alex
thing
has
with
been
the
close with getting into the points, and he's been pushing, which is great. But it's again all on Alex, not the
yeah,
car.
but it's like he can only do so much with that car.
Exactly.
If you
It's the
put
same
it,
thing you can
I
say with
feel like
Seb. There's only
I
so
feel
much
like
they
if
can
you
do.
yeah, I feel like if you put Alex in the McLaren, like McLaren would be
Oh,
fighting with the top three more often because he would be putting that thing in the points more often than Daniel would. I
yeah,
hate
he.
to admit.
I think
That's a testament to Albon's skill as a driver, right?
I think
When he
Albon's
has
car.
no
Yeah,
pressure on him.
I think after the upgrades, Albon's car will come alive once you understand it. They just did a bunch of upgrades. You need time to test it out, to make it properly find setups and everything. And Albon
Yeah, but
will
then
outperform the
sorry.
car again, like he has been so long. I
Yeah,
do
but
agree with you.
at the same time, I feel like the rate at which Williams is upgrading is not fast enough for them to really be able to keep up with the rest of the teams that are doing upgrades as well.
That is true.
Because
Yeah.
You have a point.
they bring out upgrades, but it's so seldom, and we don't know. Like maybe the upgrade that they're gonna bring out for, let's say they bring an upgrade for France, that upgrade might have been an upgrade that Ferrari or like McLaren did for like Australia or something. It's like they're
Mhm.
late. It's like they're late to the upgrades, and it's sad. Obviously, finances play a role in it and stuff like that. Like the less finances, the less R&D and so on. But it's also just sad.
We're
Like
still gonna
I
have a lot
hope,
of upgrades.
yeah, but then at the same time, I just think Williams needs something more than a miracle
Yeah.
to really get back up there. And I hope that they find it. I genuinely hope that they find it.
Maybe in a couple of years they can
Yeah,
compete
like
for seventh or eighth.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like we can talk about Latifi. Like apart from his Q3 entry into um in Silverstone, it hasn't been a great
Honey,
season for
I
him.
have no hope for him. I love him off the track. He's a great human. Hun
But he
driver,
can't.
now that Mr. Someone is out of the Haas seat, it's really showing that Latifi is
Not a great driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a he's a paid
I
driver.
It will
hope-
not
yeah.
surprise me if he's out next year, which sucks because I like him. I hope
Yeah,
he
he's
does
a
like
nice guy.
some other like driving
I think-
somewhere else.
I
Yeah,
think
he's a great
his
guy.
skills I think his skills are very, very suited for other kinds of motorsports. I hope that he finds his place in the motorsport world, but I genuinely
do
think that right
too.
now it's not with Williams or Formula 1.
Rumors are that Latifi's money isn't needed, and Williams don't need a paid driver, and they'll get another driver to replace him. It's sad because he's a nice guy, but he just
Yeah.
can't keep up.
Oh,
He's
I was
not
I was
F1.
saying right before Marcus rudely interrupted me.
Sorry.
There was an FP1 practice where they put Nick DeVries in Alex Albon's car so they could compare times, and Nick was the better driver. So I think that says enough about Latifi, which
Yeah.
sucks
Wait.
because again, nice guy, but like
Amazing memes. Go TV
Hun,
memes.
yeah, goat Tiffy, but like
Yeah.
Hun, maybe now is not the time. I wish the
Yeah.
best for you. I want all the best
Yes.
for him, 100%. I have no malice against him. It's just, it's time to go, honey. It's time to go.
When you only have
Yeah.
20 seats in the sport and you have hundreds of drivers, There's so many potential drivers. There's at least like you can make a top 10 list of drivers who should be in F1 with their track record, but there's no seats. Where are you gonna put him?
Mhm.
Williams need to change him.
Yeah, no, I genuinely think Williams. It's also just like a lost cause thing. Like again, Alex is pushing as much as he can. The car will get to somewhere, but I don't have high hopes for them. Kind of the same how I feel with
Yeah.
Aston Martin.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
kind of
hoping
it.
that the upgrades work out for Alex and he's able to put that car in more points more consistently.
Hopefully, he
I will
deserves
Yeah.
be
to.
Honest,
so
I hope it for Alex. He deserves it after everything he's been through, and now he's committing himself to the Williams campaign as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want Alex to beat Aston Martin like single-handedly like
Oh
outscore
no, I
Aston
do
Martin.
not want him to be an Aston Martin at all.
No, score
No.
outscore like be above them in
Imagine
constructors.
if
But then it would
Alex
break
Albon
Vettel.
is the only reason why Williams gets out of their rut. I mean, that's kind of what happened with George last season, obviously with whatever Spa was, but like
My God, qualifying Q2.
Yeah.
We've had really good wet performances. Alonso's wet performance this year being P2, and then obviously Russell's famous Spa thing ending up P2.
we need
Both
more.
those
I'm
amazing.
I do want a bit more wet races, but like not as bad as Spa, obviously, but like Monaco was interesting. I wish we had Monaco
Ooh.
conditions in another race or on another track, because Monaco, like famously, is where like the sprint, the quali is like the big event, and the race itself is
Yeah.
like a snooze fest. And so like the rain this year made it a tiny bit more exciting, and like with the strategies and whatever that made it exciting. But like I wish those wet conditions came in another race, and we could have had more like, I want a surprise winner again. I want another like Esteban Ocon winning in Hungary type experience, because that's what makes F1 exciting, is when the unexpected people win. That's what makes people like drawn to the sport, like obviously it's nice to see the top drivers do a championship battle fight, but like that doesn't what makes the sport. That doesn't It's not what else that fuck, I can't speak anymore. I'm getting crazy. But like that's what makes the sport exciting again is all your underdog stories and all like your unexpected results.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
that's what makes Schumacher getting his points. And
Yeah,
then
stuff
double
like
points
that.
2 weeks.
That's
That's
exactly
golden.
what makes that's why you watch F1. Yeah, you watch it for like the Ferrari Red Bull battle, but you
Sainz
also watch
win.
it for a Schumacher getting points.
Sainz win this year was also legendary. Latifi getting to Q3 was such a big thing. Alex Albon to Australia.
Yeah,
Those little moments
it's
make
those
F1
is
so
yep.
nice.
Yeah. It's I complain a lot because it causes me stress, and like when your team or your driver doesn't do well, or like something bad happens, it like messes you up. But like I do genuinely enjoy watching F1. Like I do. I have so much fun watching it. Every weekend I am on the edge of my seat because something exciting is happening.
Well, now it's time for the final part, which is our predictions. The way it's gonna work is we are going to say who we think is gonna be the champion, who is gonna win constructors, and then one crazy prediction for the season. Who wants to start?
I'll go. I have my crazy prediction ready. First of
Go.
all, I think Max Verstappen and Red Bull, there's no dethroning them. Max Verstappen is literally unstoppable. The way he's driving, Red Bull strategy is great, car is great. You can't stop him. The man is on a tear, and Leclerc has to fight Ferrari if he wants to beat it, Max. And I don't think he can this season. He's not able to. I don't have much more hope. I think Mercedes is gonna overtake Ferrari. I have a bad feeling in constructors. The way it's going, like if you look at the way everything is ticking, Mercedes is on a very good positive streak. Hamilton's getting podiums after podium. Russell is keeping up his P5 or DNF streak, which is just one DNF. So come on. I don't think Sainz was getting overtaken by Hamilton on Silverstone so hard. He just made it through with all the Ferrari strategy map stuff, but yeah, that could have potentially been Hamilton's P2, the way it was going till Ocon safety car. But yeah,
Yeah, honestly.
That's crazy. Now that is a crazy prediction. Wow. I wasn't prepared for that.
It's
That's
only a six. It's only a what difference? Wait, no, it's exactly 80 points. No, 70 points. I can't do maths. It's 60-point difference. I hope I did that right. Oh my
Between
God.
who?
Between Ferrari and Mercedes right now. My brain is not working today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am just having
It's
a
66
66,
points.
60.
Anyway, moving on. Mish, what are your predictions?
Oh God. With a heavy heart, I also am going Verstappen Red Bull. With a heavy, heavy heart. It is Ferrari's and Charles's to lose. With everything that's going on, I'm not as hopeful anymore. Which
Yeah.
just sucks to say. I predict though that Max will not be. It will not be like last year where it's a showdown in Abu Dhabi, same points. I am
Uh-huh.
predicting Max to win Mexico.
To win where?
Mexico? That's a good one.
Which
Either
race
he
Is
it?
that
will
your crazy
win-
prediction?
Well, no, that's not my crazy prediction. That's just me
Oh, okay.
guessing when Max is going to win by Mexico City. That doesn't mean he wins the race. He wins the championship by Mexico City.
Okay.
That's my
He wins it
prediction.
in 9 more races.
Yeah, that's with 2 races to spare. I think that's when Max will
Yep.
win the championship. My crazy prediction is Haas to finish 5th in the constructors.
5th.
Oh, okay.
Fifth.
That's good. That's
And
a
you
good
said
one.
mine was bad. How is Haas supposed to climb to 5th? Like, they're gonna have to beat, oh my God. They're gonna have to beat Alfa Romeo and McLaren, most likely. You
Yeah.
want to bet
Uh,
against Valtteri
them-
Bottas and Lando and Shogun Guan Yu. I'm not even gonna mention
Yeah,
China
no, I
because
mean it
it's
is
just-
out there. I mean, will it actually come true? I actually don't think so, but like I don't know. I just have hope. That's what usually
Schumacher.
happens
It's time
in
for the
these
Schumacher name
predictions,
to
don't
come
they,
back.
audience? Audience, you know, the audience, if they've seen my football predictions, they've been a bit So like
Mine
But
was
yes,
much
those are my
more
predictions.
reasonable than
Marcus, your
yours.
turn.
Okay, so for my predictions, we're gonna go for the same thing. Max Red Bull. Just the writing's on the wall at this point, honestly. There's just I don't see any way that Ferrari is gonna be able to like muster up enough like common sense to fight against
Coleman
Ouch.
to fight against the Red Bulls. I predict Max is gonna win the championship by Coda. He'll win it in Coda.
Coda, the one before me. Okay.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
My crazy prediction though, and this is gonna be my crazy prediction, and this is out of nowhere. It's similar to your thing, Misha. I think Magnussen's gonna win a race.
What? Oh my God! What are both of you on? What is happening?
We're already on the Steiner ship. They have fucking swayed
We are on
us.
the Steiner
We
ship,
are on
bro.
the Steiner
Okay,
ship,
okay.
guys.
I just want to know: how many podiums has ever gotten since their conception?
None.
None.
And you want them to just go straight to? Do you
No,
want them to
here's
go
why-
straight?
here's
And
why I
that's the
think.
same philosophy I have with Daniel Ricciardo. Never got a podium in McLaren. Then
McLaren.
just won a race.
Yeah,
One,
like,
two,
Same
well,
for
I think-
K-Mag.
I think has have a
Uh.
good car to keep it at the top, and maybe in like some crazy sense, like both Red Bulls and one of the Ferraris are like.
No,
out
we
of
need
it,
another
and, like,
Hungary to happen.
You need
I
everyone.
another Hungary.
You need
to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
everyone. All
Like, where
six
the
to be
order-
out.
Like where the order is just completely switched up. I think Magnussen can hold on to win the race.
Look,
That's my crazy
McLaren
prediction.
is a championship winning team. They have won races. They have won championships.
Yeah,
Haas
but
has
look
not
at how
done
look at
either
how
of that.
But just because
but look
they've
at how-
won it before doesn't mean like look at how McLaren have been doing strategy wise, Kush.
Yeah.
Expectations. If Haas win a race, I will be starstruck. I will not know what to say. I'll just like.
shit. No
I will-
I will
shit.
reconsider.
All of us will be starstruck.
Yeah, dude, honestly. But those are our predictions for the upcoming season. There's still a lot of season left to watch. There are 11 races as of our recording this.
Yes, we are halfway through the season.
Yeah. It's still gonna be a gut-wrenching season for us to watch. We're gonna watch every single race. At least we're gonna try to watch every single race, but we're obviously gonna keep up with everything that's going on in F1. We're gonna definitely review our predictions and review the season as a whole once the season ends. But for now, we thank you for watching this video. It was a mess to record. We are all very
I'm so tired.
rusty.
I'm so
We are
tired.
very sorry. I have food downstairs that I want to get to
I'm
already.
I'm
So
so
I'm gonna
cake.
sign us. Yeah, so I'm gonna sign us off. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment down below
There's
if you
so much
enjoyed the
stuff we didn't
video.
cover.
Yeah.
We can do
mention
another
cover-
one.
FIA
We'll
races
We'll do
we
another
cut,
one. We'll
pretty-
do another. We'll
We
do
didn't even
another.
What's
mention
gonna happen to
silly season.
McLaren?
We haven't
What's
even
gonna happen to
mentioned Austria
McLaren?
Piastri yet, but
Yeah.
that's for another
Yeah.
time. You gotta subscribe to find out more.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. We're hungry and tired, and we're very rusty. Thank
You
you for
forgot me,
watching,
sick.
and goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
My legs hurt.